Getting results at university is just the beginning. In order to secure a job, you need to be able to market yourself. Unfortunately, a number of graduates don't know how to do this. This is just one of the problems identified by Advocate Thembeka, who is currently the council chair at Walter Sisulu University. He joins me now to unpack this and other issues facing graduates. Advocate, thank you for joining us at ENCA. We talk about Walter Sisulu University, and we're talking of a university that has really produced some great minds. We talk of, for example, the likes of the Deputy Chief Justice, Mandisa Maya, just to mention a few, and the former SAA CEO, Vuyani Akhakhana. But the trouble now comes at modern day, where we find out that it's difficult to get the graduates to be placed in employment. Maybe detail some of the challenges that we're currently facing at Walter Sisulu University.
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for the question. Yeah, I mean, what I was trying to highlight in my address last night, was that, to try and look at the issue of graduate unemployment as a crisis, and specifically for us as a university.
Having said that, I don't think it's just the Walter Sisulu University that is looking at graduate unemployment as a crisis. A lot of universities are facing similar problems. There's a lot of graduates that are unemployed. But, let's pick his brain and let's hear what he has to say with regards to this particular issue.
Universities like UCT or WITS would have an average of anything between 9 months to a year between the date that the graduate graduates, you get your degree, and the date you get your first job. But what we find is that with our graduates, that a period could go up to 3 years. And sometimes it can even exceed 3 years.
This is true. You find a lot of graduates, people with qualifications. You see them on LinkedIn all the time, that are unemployed for long periods of time. Now we can't say it's one thing that causes this, right? Because you've got students that I saw the other day that was a qualified, had a diploma in mechanical engineering, I think, and he was struggling to find work. So we can't blame the qualification only, but in most cases, believe you me, it's causes that there's an oversupply of with very little demand.
So the question was, how do we understand this? How do we examine this? What are the causes and what are the reasons? So what we looked at was, we graduate, firstly, we enroll approximately 30,000 students every year. We graduate about 6,000 to 7,000 every year. And the majority of those are diplomas and certificates. And that's where the problem really is. It's in the nature of the certificates and in the nature of the diplomas. And that's where we find that there is a high proportion of graduates that are unable to secure employment in the formal market.
I think that this is really important for my younger audience. Is saying that most of people that are struggling to get jobs as graduates are people that studied for diplomas and certificates. And this goes back to my point of saying it's not wrong to upgrade your results so that you qualify for a degree. Now, it's not wrong to study for a diploma, don't get me wrong, especially if you will continue learning beyond that certificate or beyond that diploma. It's not wrong to go and study for a diploma. But Advocate Toby is saying here that the people that struggle most to get employment are those that studied for specific diplomas and certificates. Let's listen and hear what those are.
So there are two problems with it. The one is an external problem and the other is an internal problem. There's very little we can do about the external problem, but we can try and resolve the endogenous problem. And what are these problems? Two of them. One problem is, what are the graduates studying? What we have found is that over the years, Walter Sisulu University has been a conglomeration of 3 different universities. But each university tended to focus on educating graduates for the public service. So focusing on diplomas like public administration or public management.
And guys, I'm just going to continue this video so that we can hear coherently what it says. And I'll also leave a link in the description below. But if you are in high school or if you're considering going to university, please be careful of the qualification that you choose. The employment in this country is created mostly by the private sector. It's business people, it's small businesses that hire graduates. So if you are going to study for any qualification, consider that, it needs to serve, it needs to have a use in the private sector. Companies need to have a use for that particular qualification that you're studying for. So if you are going to study in the public sector, public management and governance, and these courses that relate mostly to the public sector, you will struggle to find employment. So you need to be careful how you choose what you want to study. And there's a point that I also want to make. A lot of students neglect TVET colleges. A lot of students neglect skills like practical skills, like skills in the artisan space. There's a lot of guys that are gifted with using their hands. Study towards those qualifications because there's an advantage to studying towards those qualifications. In my opinion, if you have a diploma in carpentry, for example, you cannot go wrong because you can manufacture furniture and find people like me who will help you market that product. So what I'm saying is you can create a product that is marketable. You can create a product that allows you to make money instead of looking for jobs. So studying towards qualifications that make you self-employed or make you independent, I think is very critical.